Cue the energy, cue the hype, because WrestleMania season is upon us, and that means it's time to lock in predictions. Welcome to WavyMania, the Road to WrestleMania prediction show. I'm NerdyD alongside my guy WavyD, the Nostradamus of pro wrestling is what I'm labeling you from here on out. Every week, WavyD is going to break down his vision for WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, laying out the matches, the stories, and the chaos he believes WWE is building towards. But here's the catch. Once he sets his card today, each week he will be given the opportunity to tweak his card a little bit, make some adjustments, call out his wrong moves, call out the storylines he sees changing. So buckle up, guys. The road to WrestleMania is full of detours, swerves, and last-minute changes. And by the time we get to Vegas, we'll see if WavyD was cooking or if he's got some explaining to do. This is WavyMania, and it starts right now. What's up, man?
What's going on? How's life treating you?
Good. Everything's going good. So this show started because you showed me a spiral you had where you've got this thing pretty lined out.
I think so. I hope so.
I'm not gonna lie, from what I saw, I was impressed and intrigued, and I definitely, you more than anybody in the Discord tend to kind of have your thumb on the pulse of where things are going. We get these wild ideas sometimes, and we try to we do a lot of hoping. Whereas it looks like you're a little more calculated. You got a little bit of the formula down.
Yeah. Going into this, I have a little bit of just, history has a way of repeating itself. WWE has a formula. If it's not broken, don't fix it. And, I mixed in a little bit of my kind of like fantasy book in what I would like to see to a dream match extent.
I like this.
I try to keep my dream matches in the realm of possibility.
Right. Like Hulk Hogan's not coming out and fighting. Or is he? Or is he? Or is he?
No.
Or is he?
We might have a Hall of Famer in here, but just not Hulk Hogan.
All right. So how many matches do you have locked in right now?
So that's the tough part. So, given that we have 2 nights of WrestleMania, over like the last, we're on like year 6 or so now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I remember WrestleMania was one night, and if you make the card, you make the card.
Yeah.
Now it gives a little more leeway. But, I'm kind of leaning on me like 7 matches a night.
That's kind of what I had in the graphics I prepared. Was I had night 1 7, night 2 7. I think that's the safe spot. If they throw in a 8th, it's going to be a bullshit fast thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you there.
And the tough part was that, I'm kind of a man where WrestleMania is a place where championships are defended.
Okay.
My co-host over on the Slap and Meat Wrestling podcast, We Too Deep, he's more of a moment guy and storytelling. I like my storytelling, but I just think the championships gotta be on the line at Mania.
I'm with you. They gotta matter. I agree.
And it's a hard thing to balance because we have the championships and we have some really good grudge matches, some grudge rivalries that need to go down. So I have a list of matches. I tried to get it to 14, but also some of these matches I think are going to be WrestleMania week matches.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Where it's that funny thing where a few of them get thrown on SmackDown the night. I get you. I'm good with that. And as we get closer, we can tighten up and start even playing with what we think this is a SmackDown thing.
Exactly, where you have your SmackDown before Mania, your Raw after Mania, which are both kind of regarded as pretty big shows.
Yeah, definitely.
And so we'll see where some of these go, kind of bounce off.
All right, so you want to throw me right into the pool here?
Yeah, would you recommend I start with the lower card, or you want the main event matches?
I think we work our way to the big finish.
Okay.
Let's start small so I can, because if I overreact too early, I'll be tired by the end.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I currently have 17 matches written on this paper.
Okay, cool.
Which I took a picture of.
Cool.
I know it's not paper. Paper I took a picture of.
Gotcha.
So the last match on the card is Penta versus fill in the blank.
Okay. No, I get what you're doing there. That makes sense. That's a safe bet. Is Penta on the WrestleMania card? Who's in line? Who needs a match?
Yep. Can be Penta main events in SmackDown, Penta on the Raw after Mania versus a big opponent. I don't know if he makes the Mania card, but he'll be featured during Mania week.
I think he makes the card. I think he makes the card. There's a part of me that believes it's a little bit to stick it to like anybody who's kind of considering making the jump. It's like, oh shit, you could come over in January and have a WrestleMania moment. It may be what we're talking about, that quick kind of fast pace, or it may even be involved in some kind of like 6-man type thing. But I think he makes the card. But I'm with you. So Penta versus somebody. Like it.
And I still have that Damian Priest versus Finn Balor in here.
Interesting.
I don't think they're quite done with that. Oh, just because like the way their street fight kind of ended, they had the big spot off the crowd, the table spot, and then the teams got involved. I think we still have a little bit of gas in the Damian versus Priest match. Damian versus Finn Balor match.
That's interesting. So that's one. That's a wait and see for me because I got the vibes that moving Damian to SmackDown was kind of this is done. He's done with the Judgment Day. We're moving on.
I did miss SmackDown this past week, so he's on SmackDown now. I missed that.
Yeah, they moved.
Okay, so I'll come back to that.
Yeah, which is fine. That's what this first show is for. We're setting the table here. Yeah. So Damian's moved.
Okay, so that thought was a wrench to some plans.
He interacted with Cody in an interesting way.
See, I missed SmackDown. I was out having a little bit of fun.
Yeah, fun. That's all right.
So I have. It kind of got messed up a little bit with this past Monday Night Raw. So for those wondering, this list was made January 22nd.
Yeah.
So this past Raw kind of threw a wrench in this one, but I have a Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, and Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio, Zelina Vega, and Bad Bunny.
Interesting.
A little mixed gender 6-man tag match.
I like it, but I see what you're saying. A lot of this transfer portal is messing with some of the, because I'm in the same line of thought with like, I didn't think Finn and Damian was over, and I think it's weird to move Zelina out of LWO unless they have a legitimate plan to like put the women's IC title on her. But I like where you're going there. I think we're gonna have to tweak that one in the next couple of weeks, but I like the involvement.
Yeah, I really wanted to go Logan versus Bad Bunny, but I just didn't know if they had enough experience between the two of them to put on a Mania match. Sure. I can see the 1v1 on like a backlash.
Yeah, but WrestleMania to put that's 80,000 people staring down.
Just imagine Dom and Logan together doing promos in the ring together.
Oh hell yeah! Now, is there a world? Is there a world with this Logan and Jake thing that's been announced? There's not a lot of details on it. Is there a world where like they box in March and then immediately get into the ring and wrestle? Just a bullshit, not like a match, but you know what I mean, like
a little tag action.
Yeah, something like that.
Corner kind of thing.
Yeah,
because from the picture I saw, whether it was real or not, it was advertised like March 27th.
Yeah, right. Like way too close to WrestleMania for comfort, so it feels like you could just roll all of the promotion right over.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. I'm with you.
Next one, which I think is a little more locked in stone, Solo Sikoa versus Jacob Fatu.
So I've heard this, and I don't know that I ever even processed. I think I'm having a hard time digesting the idea that the Bloodline story is kind of over for the most part, the side characters. So I like that prediction. I think it's solid, but I didn't come to that on my own. So I definitely like that. I think that'll be a fun match.
Yeah, what kind of drove me in this direction is how Solo kind of walked out, and the two of them, the not last SmackDown, but SmackDown before, I believe. Yeah. The one before Saturday Night Main Event, and Jacob was in the ring, kind of cutting a promo, and the crowd was getting behind him, and then Jacob was getting over at Main Event against Braun Strowman, He kind of chanted one more time, one more.
Yeah.
And I can see Solo kind of getting rubbed the wrong way that, the fans are taking to Jacob more than him. And he's kind of getting outshined or getting past the line.
Jacob's a beast, man.
Yeah.
He's a fucking star. Like, they need to protect him. What they did with Braun, I thought was excellent.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know that I love that it was like a butt tackle thing that was like, but the way they're booking him, they need to protect that man because he's got superstar written all over him.
Yes. My only problem with that match was I feel like the match part went on too long. I feel like they should have got to the beatdown a little faster. So,
and another time we can talk about Saturday Night main events. The pacing on those shows is weird. It's almost like they're looking at a clock and having to just like perfectly time. All right, you guys got 25 minutes. You got to make it work. The contract signing went short or went long. I agree with you that match didn't need to be that long. But Triple H feels a little bit to me, he feels more scared to squash people.
Yes.
Than Vince McMahon ever was like, hey, fuck that big guy. we'll build him up in a couple weeks. But like Triple H almost books this 50-50 thing and then lets one guy kind of get over at the end. That's my opinion on that.
That's facts.
So Jacob and Solo, love it. Lock it in.
Now, this is the part of the card where these guys, they're too big of stars to leave off the card.
Okay.
But a couple of them I can see getting lost in the shuffle, and I'm not quite sure what to do with them. Because originally I wanted to do Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton one-on-one.
Okay.
But I found myself not knowing where to put Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I can see that.
So this match is, I'm predicting a Sami Zayn heel turn.
Okay.
I think we got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton and Seth Rollins.
I like that. I like it just because, like you said, you got to get all those guys involved. From a story perspective, it's not my favorite thing. But I like the idea of Sami turning. It feels like that was kind of the vibe I got when all this Monday Night Raw stuff went down, that he was on the verge. I know they've dangled Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. That feels like a very like inside baseball wrestling thing that like real ultimate fans like IWC and like harder core casuals like us will enjoy that. But I don't know that you put that on a poster that everybody understands the history of those two guys.
Yeah, WWE's got to put together a really nice video package.
Yeah.
And like, a few weeks of promos in the ring together. I do think those guys can get it over. But putting the two of them on a poster together, I don't think quite sells enough tickets.
In the ring, they'll be the best thing on WrestleMania as far as I'm concerned, because I think Sammy's great when he has a purpose, and I've chanted from the rooftop, I think Kevin Owens, I don't know what he does wrong. So I just don't know, on a poster you got like a bushy bearded Canadian and then kind of an overweight Canadian, and I don't think they scream. When you see Roman Reigns on a poster, you go, who the hell is that guy? I don't know if KO and Sami scream that.
See, one of the problems that KO has, I think, is a problem that Jey Uso has, is that they're too over and they don't need a title because they're so over.
Sure.
And we want to give them a title. We want to give them a title, but other wrestlers need the title more because it's a prop to elevate you at the end of the day.
Sure. No, I think that is the truest statement ever said. I think Jey Uso could benefit from the credibility, but I think with Kevin Owens, you're exactly right. It because like I keep going, I hope he beats Cody Rhodes, but the reality is there's zero. Cody still kind of needs that title as a security blanket to there's the push and pull on who is the guy in the company. And so I think he needs it, but Kevin Owens, he just keeps going to the next story and creating like new laughable moments.
Now, if we got this Cody and KO match in the middle of the year at like a SummerSlam or like a Saudi or a Survivor Series, I could see KO winning this match.
Yeah.
It's just too close.
It's too close to WrestleMania. I agree. I'm with you 100%.
Next match is Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns for no title.
Okay.
Crunch match.
And so then I'm gonna go on record now. You're assuming No Rock.
Yeah, I'm coming to terms. I've held out hope for The Rock.
Sure.
But I think you could do Rock Roman at another time. You can still do it. I mean, we're getting to the point where we're losing more and more interest. But I feel like you can still do Rock Roman at some point just to do it.
So that's the argument I made last year. Is the argument you're making right now? Why do you waste that match on a night that everybody's going to pay attention no matter what? That feels better suited for a SummerSlam where you've got to generate some energy. You've got to get people to give a shit. Why am I watching this in August? We're all going to watch WrestleMania regardless of if The Rock is on the card or he's not. So I like this. I like the idea of going, this is let's go Drew. So they've been hinting at Drew, he's the daddy of the bloodline now. That's what he called himself. Yeah. I love this. And I think from a wrestling standpoint, The Rock and Roman is not on paper a great match.
Yeah, as far as what I mean?
It's going to be a lot of the standing around and looking at the crowd and then they react and
kind of like Rock and Hogan.
Exactly. And it'll be great and we'll all be excited and we'll lose our shit. But on paper, Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns is going to be better wrestling. So let's lock that one in. I like that one.
Drew's story is he's going down the hit list, all right?
Sure.
He's going after each bloodline member. He's going down that list.
And give me Drew going over Roman Reigns, and then that gives him the credibility going into like the summer of I'm the guy. Feed me everybody.
Feed me more. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Shout out Skip Sheffield. Next match on my card is the Women's Tag Team Championships.
Okay. What you got for me?
Now, I have Bianca and Naomi going in as champions.
Okay.
Now, you can do this one of two ways. I have them facing a single tag team.
Okay.
Or have them facing 3 tag teams. If you
fill it out, if you got to get more people on the card.
But the main team I got them facing, hear me out here. This is where I cook a little bit.
Okay. I'm with you.
Bianca and Naomi versus Jade Cargill and Jordynne Grace.
Oh, I'm not mad at that.
Now, here's the history behind it. Here's the cooking part.
Okay.
Is we know Jade Cargill comes back. She, she's like, I know who took me out. It was the two of you, revealing that it was both Bianca and Naomi. Okay. They're both behind it. Kind of turning them heel and have them do like their thing. And, and Jade's like, I got to even the odds. I got to even the numbers game out. And so Naomi, I'm going to bring in a little devil from your past. Because Jordynne Grace is the woman who beat Naomi when she was in TNA for her TNA championship.
Okay.
So we got, and then just having Jordynne Grace and Jade Cargill together as a tag team, I think will bring even more credibility to those titles. It'll get the two of them more acquainted with the WWE system. And I can see those two running roughshed over the tag team division going into the middle of the year where, they can drop titles at some point. But I think it's a good way to get Jordynne Grace and Jade Cargill over together with the
tag team titles.
With the main audience.
I like it. I see nothing wrong with it. That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of muscle in the ring. It'll be impressive. When we talk about posters, that's a fucking poster for you.
Yes.
Bianca, Jordan, and Jade Cargill.
And then Naomi's an athlete too.
Sure. I'm just, the three of the
not muscles, but she's an athlete.
Yeah, no disrespect to Naomi by any means. I'm just saying the other 3 are like bodybuilders.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I like that.
Now, if you want to throw in the other 2 tag teams, make it more of a showcase thing.
So I think you probably get Liv and Raquel in that match, and maybe you got them somewhere else.
Well, because I had Liv in that triple threat. I mean, in that 6-person tag team match with Bad Bunny and Logan Paul. And
that's right. Okay. I think they're pushing Liv and Raquel, but okay.
Yeah,
right, let's lock it
Liv
in.
And Raquel next week. Liv and Raquel will make this list.
Okay. All right.
But I also had Shayna and Zoe and Isla Dawn and Alba Fire as the other 2 tag teams in this match.
That makes sense. They're there.
Now, the women's IC title picture.
Okay. This is Chelsea Green's title.
No, this is Lyra's title.
Wait, Lyra's
This is the
title.
Raw
I'm sorry.
one.
See, yeah, thank you for clearing. Yes, Lyra's title. Are you going the We Too
Lyra-
Deep route here?
Yeah, Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch
Okay.
for the women's IC title.
I like that. I didn't like anything about Lyra Valkyria winning the title. Even though I don't know that Dakota Kai was the better choice. I think there was other better choices. But when he presented the Becky Lynch situation, I went, that makes sense. That gets Becky on the card. They have history. They'll do great promo-wise going at each other. You can go different routes. They can dislike each other, or it can be about respect. So I like this. I definitely think this is how you get Becky back. You get her built into the card quickly. So I definitely like that.
Another title add to her collection. Shout out to We Too Deep for that one. That was his prediction that I jumped on board with.
I liked it too. Yeah, I recognized it when he said it. I said he eased a little bit of the concern I had about that title.
The next one on the card. Now this one I called, or I am calling, or I have called.
Okay.
Since she won the title.
Okay.
Chelsea Green versus Piper Niven for the U.S. Women's Championship.
It makes sense. It makes sense. It definitely. The only concern I would have is do they pull the trigger that early? With everything else that's on the card, that feels like you could save that even longer. I think Chelsea has a little bit of a run with this title. I think we could, and this is just me throwing out there, I think we could get like a Chelsea Nikki Bella situation.
Chelsea Nikki Bella. Ooh.
Yeah, I think that Chelsea's the type to pull in the legend for WrestleMania. And then you've got Brie and Piper on the outside. You said what?
I'm just not a Bella fan.
I get it, but she draws in such a different audience, and that's kind of the WWE formula is where can we insert these people that'll bring in, and then what happens is the Nikki Bella audience discovers Chelsea Green, and she kind of fits that mold for them, and now they're invested. That's I understand going Piper and Chelsea. I just think it might be too early.
No, I think I might be able to sell you on the Chelsea Piper a little more.
Okay, sell me on it.
So here's the story going into it. The initial story is, Chelsea being champion, or she's getting too big for her britches. Head gets even bigger. Started boss Piper around even more. Piper's taking a little disrespect. Kind of getting that Otis and Chad Gable treatment.
Sure.
But to throw another wrench into this, there's rumors of the Iconics return to WWE.
Okay.
Now, pair up the Iconics with Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, because Chelsea was saying on SmackDown this past week
that they needed more protection.
Sure. Now you bring in the Iconics, they're more protection for Chelsea, and then as the weeks go on,
Piper becomes odd man out.
Chelsea's getting more buddy with the Iconics. They're kind of making Piper the duff of the group. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And then we're kind of getting more and more behind Piper as she's growing more of a backbone and stand for herself. And then Piper Niven to the moon.
So you sold me. Because it has the same effect as what I said with Nikki Bella. The Iconics coming back, not on the same level as Nikki Bella, but they bring in an audience. So it's not just, I couldn't picture in my head putting Piper and Chelsea across from each other. But now that you add the story element, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Now we're getting into the big championships.
Let's go.
Now we have the Women's World Heavyweight Championship held by Rhea Ripley.
Okay. I'm interested to see where you go here because there's not a lot of names left.
Now, she's going to face my prediction for the Royal Rumble winner.
Oh, okay. Hold on. This spoiler alerts here because I think I have this going very differently now. Let's go. Hit me with it.
So, you might not like the story aspect, but you're going to love the X's and O's wrestling in the ring.
Okay.
You need that. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky. You saw the match.
The air just sucked out of my. So this is what I'm going to say about that. It's not for me, but I 100% understand that it sells and that it works. And I understand Io Sky and that she's great. She just doesn't, that style doesn't appeal to me. That's my problem. But not every match is going to. So I have no argument there. I don't think you have to win the Royal Rumble though to get there. I don't like Io winning.
I think the other side of the picture, I think the women over there can get the match without having to win the Rumble. We'll get to that one later, but I think she can get that match without winning the Rumble.
Okay. I'm not mad at it though. I'm not mad at it. I mean, the matchup's fine. I think it I haven't been disappointed with one Rhea Ripley WrestleMania match, and I don't think Io Sky is going to be the one who comes in and doesn't live up to the expectations.
No. If you can recall back to last year, Io versus Bayley.
Yeah.
Banger of a match. Yeah. Now imagine Io and Rhea.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I'm with everything. I'm just going on record. Io it doesn't excite me. But the same way that like Bianca Belair matches don't excite a lot of people, right? Because it's the kind of the John Cena formula. It's the same fucking back handspring, gonna jump over, so just different flavors.
Ooh, okay. Now this goes into where the other championship, the women's WWE championship,
all right.
held by Tiffany Stratton.
Because I think we may be on the same line here. We're just getting it differently.
Yeah, I think she faces Charlotte.
Sure, which is but
I don't think Charlotte. I think Charlotte does need to win the Royal Rumble, and also I feel like under Triple H, I think he learned his lesson with Cody, that coming back from an injury just before Royal Rumble, just to kind of get in there, win the title, while everybody else is kind of winning the crowd over, working hard the whole year, just to come back and get placed right at the top of WrestleMania. He learned that lesson with Cody when Cody tried to face Roman the first time. You know, I think they're ready to put the title on Cody, but they kind of heard the backlash a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got to build Cody back up over this year.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think Charlotte necessarily wins the Rumble. I think she still gets a title match, though, at Mania. But he learned his lesson about the Royal Rumble winner.
I don't think anything you said is wrong, because the way Triple H has treated us is, hey, look at this shiny thing that you're all going to think is going to win. No, she's not going to win. We've given her little cut scenes and little things like this. Io wins. So everything you said makes sense. There's just a part of me that wants Charlotte to come back, win the Royal Rumble, and just double down as a fucking heel and be like, I'm better than my dad. I'm a Flair. I am wrestling. Win the title at WrestleMania and just go on this run through the summer of just, I'm better than everybody. But realistically, I think you are on the right path of Triple H has seemingly continued to do this. You think you know, keep I'm showing you this hand, but I'm doing real intelligent shit back here.
Now, do you think that the reason they gave Charlotte the whole promo before the whole video package before Royal Rumble is so she didn't get upstaged by Becky, who might return at the Royal Rumble as well?
You want my real opinion? I think it's so we fucking knew who she was, because she does not look like the same person. They had to reintroduce her and be like, hey guys, when this person comes out, just understand that's Charlotte Flair. Yeah,
your dad was on the right track then.
Yeah, I think you're right. That yes, they have the storied rivalry. There's legitimate problems. One can't outshine the other, and if they're both going to return, they both got to feel special.
And then I think so. Also another side prediction. I don't think Becky returns for the Rumble.
Okay,
I think she comes back post Rumble.
Okay,
because to avoid the whole
makes sense
upstaging each other thing.
Sure. That makes sense to me. Is that you can have too many surprises, which sounds insane, but the more you do, and these aren't even really surprises, right? Because we know Charlotte now is coming back, and so I do think there's a little bit of like tempering expectations. So I'm with you. I could see Becky coming back later.
Okay, so next we go into the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Okay.
I think this is one of those like we're gonna defend it on SmackDown the night before kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think we get a fatal 4-way between DIY, the Street Profits, Morrissey Machine Guns, and Los Lotharios.
That makes sense. That's a solid, safe pick.
The only way you sneak their way onto the WrestleMania card is if Triple H wants to give Morrissey Machine Guns the WrestleMania experience.
Sure. Once the entrance and the and I think we forget you've got to have a couple matches in there that are time filler, that something like that can go 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just depending on what you've got left. I'm with you on that though. That seems like they've been building that entire story around those titles.
Yeah. I mean, you might also be able to take out Los Lotharios, but Pretty Deadly.
Any combination of those 4 or 5 teams. I mean, fuck, they may do 5. Fucking find another corner.
The Raw tag team titles, I have the War Raiders versus the Creed brothers.
I like that. I like that a lot because they got to do something significantly with the Creed brothers. There's too much. Like the American made such a good package of people, and it just they feel lost in the mix. So I like get them into the tag division, get them mixing it up. I like that. I definitely like that.
Now, this next one is me hedging my bets in a way.
Okay.
Because I know they teased Chad Gable going to SmackDown, but if the Creeds are on Raw, they're not going to split up American Made already.
Yeah.
But this is me kind of hedging my bets. Next is the United States Championship match, where I think we get a ladder match at Mania.
Okay.
I think we get Shinsuke versus LA Knight. Yeah. Versus Chad Gable.
Okay.
Andrade, Carmelo Hayes, and Santos Escobar.
Interesting.
I almost said Pablo Escobar, but Santos Escobar.
I like it because the amount of talent in that match is ridiculous. I mean, I don't hate it, and they've shown that while we have 2 different rosters, they fucking play real fast and loose with that thing. It's no problem for Chad Gable to show up on SmackDown for a couple weeks. Just because.
And who say that the War Raiders wouldn't retain their titles and the Creeds just follow Chad Gable to SmackDown?
Sure, that makes sense. Like it. I like that. I think there's a world where Penta. That's where you slide Penta's into that match just because of what he can do.
Yeah. All right, now we get into the top 3 matches.
All right, let's go. I'm ready. So far, I'm gonna say I like this card. I like it. If we get anything similar to this, I'll be happy.
The Intercontinental Championship match.
Okay.
I have this slated as Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus John Cena.
Interesting.
Now, originally, if I were Triple H and I was booking this, I would have Braun Breaker defend his Intercontinental Championship at the Elimination Chamber, and then in the process of retaining, he injures himself. He gets injured.
Okay.
Storyline injury.
Sure.
And he vacates the title. And so you have Sheamus versus Cena, who both need the IC title to complete their Grand Slam thingamabobber. So the title means a lot to both of them. And you get John Cena versus Sheamus at Mania. But the next best thing is, Braun Breaker is such a big name, you're not going to write him off of Mania. So Braun Breaker versus Sheamus versus Cena.
So let me piggyback off you. Let's just have him do something real heinous and take the title from him. Let's have him snap and just start spearing everybody. And you suspend him. You suspend him. You strip him of the title. It's a bullshit thing. Everybody's booing. They're pissed. Braun's not going to be at WrestleMania. So then you go Cena and Sheamus, and whoever wins that match, it ends with Braun just coming out and fucking flattening them.
Fucking him up at Mania.
Yeah, right in the middle of Mania. He just spears them, stands over them, causes chaos. And so you immediately then can roll into Backlash with Braun versus whoever just won that title.
I do like that.
I like where you're going on that. Because I never in my mind thought the idea of two guys going after a title they need to complete, like a series of titles, that match instantly becomes important to everybody. Are you a Cena guy or are you a Sheamus guy? And who do you want to finish that chapter? I fucking book it. I like that.
When I was booking this a year in advance, when I was booking this last Mania, I was saying we gotta have Randy versus Cena for the record-breaking, like 17th world title or whatever. But due to Randy's injuries over like the last 2-3 years, he couldn't get the necessary title wins. To line up this. So that's kind of like missed opportunity. But it is what it is. Also there's also a possibility we just say screw it and we just tell Sheamus, hey mate, you're not in this one this year.
I mean, that's true. That's true too. I mean, you can Sheamus isn't going anywhere. You can retell that story at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, and then Braun versus Cena. Cena wins, and then Cena versus Sheamus. Sometime down the line.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that either. I mean,
Cena's
a guy that Braun can afford to take a loss to. That'll never hurt you.
And I know a lot of people have Cena winning the Royal Rumble, yada yada. This is part of my story of Cena running out of chances to get that world title.
I like that.
Cena's like, oh, Royal Rumble, I missed my opportunity.
Yeah.
Let me go to Chamber. Oh, he loses that Chamber. Dang it. Now I gotta go try Money in the Bank. He misses out Money in the Bank. And so we're coming kind of close to the end of his career. Will he get the record? Will he not? Kind of thing.
So what's more important, him winning an IC title or another world title to you? What would be more impactful?
Another world title, just because he would be the record breaking one.
Sure.
Other people have Grand Slams.
So that I think was what I was thinking is if somehow it does go Braun versus Cena, what if Braun won? And like you said, it is this like kind of Cena failure tour until we get closer to the end and he overcomes and he does climb that mountain.
Yeah. Well, what we get to the point where Cena has to decide on his last match, do I want the Grand Slam or do I want the record-breaking world title?
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see. Second to last match, we have World Heavyweight Champion Gunther.
Okay.
Versus main event Jey Uso.
I like it. And
I think Jey Uso gets his Kofi Mania moment.
I think that I love it. I think that's the only way you justify the shit you've done to Jey Uso for the last year and a half is that you've been telling him it's coming. Like the moment's coming. And let's be honest, the optics of Jey Uso winning the title in front of 80,000 people in Las Vegas and the fucking after party that's going to happen. It's going to be crazy.
Eating the place up.
Well, they'll be playing his song in every nightclub.
Oh, no, yo. We're going to be out there, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to be wild.
we got to get a clip of NerdyD
eating it up. I eat it up.
Main event. All right. Last match of the WrestleMania Night 2. We got Cody Rhodes versus my Royal Rumble winner, CM Punk.
Yeah. I mean, after this last week, they sold me on it. So you've sold me on it. I like it. It's one of those things CM Punk doesn't have to win. It's a great opponent. It will spark the interest in Cody because Cody needs a bad guy. And Punk can walk that weird line of saying like underhanded shit. I like it. I'm with it. I wasn't with it 2 weeks ago, but I am now.
And I do think this Cody versus CM Punk angle is going to or can lead to the Cody heel turn. I saw shades of heel Cody in his last promo.
He needs it, man. He fucking needs it.
Grind.
He just, to me, he's not a lovable babyface. It's hard for me. I respect everything he does, and I think he's one of the best in the business. I just can't get behind him.
No, I said on my nerdy show, sorry, not nerdy, Me and We Too Deep show the other day that I think my thought about Cody is, I'm all for Cody. I like Cody. I think he's doing his thing. I think is that we're overexposed to his promos. I think he's talking like once
Sure.
to twice a
Sure.
week. We're overexposed to the point where like he's a really good promo, and like I love hamburgers, but I can't eat a hamburger every day.
I'm with you. That absolutely makes sense to me. Is my cringe may just be that it's like I've seen this before. I've every person, it's the same, that same and look, and he does, and I agree, it's not bad. It is just this again. I believe that's where
Monday.
my fatigue.
I saw it on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I see it on Tuesday.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think you're right. I've never diagnosed it that way, but I believe I probably have fatigue, and that's weird in just a year. But if you, like you said, if you have the same thing every week, it wears on you. I want to throw out there.
Any superstars you think I missed? Any wrestlers?
So there was one thing I just want to throw out there that I don't know if you've seen the back and forth between Kaiser and Logan Paul.
No, I did not.
Online, lots of like Logan saying your girlfriend's hitting on me. So Logan's stirring the pot. Could we get Logan Paul versus Kaiser? Is that any interest?
I'm interested. I'm interested in that.
It
not Mania, but I'm interested in that, like a backlash.
It elevates Kaiser immediately. Because Logan, whoever you put Logan in the ring with, he brings his own audience. He doesn't need a ton. It's whether they're willing to play that out on TV or if that was just a fun behind the scenes jab.
And like I can see, the fans like Kaiser, but he's also at the end of the day he's a heel.
Yeah,
and Logan's a bigger heel, so it's a storyline hard to book, especially like the kids don't like Kaiser. The adults like Kaiser.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right on that. Kaiser is the adult. There's always that one guy. That guy's always existed. That the older fans get behind. That's definitely Kaiser. He's not going to sell the lunchbox. Trying to think. I think I'm pretty in line with where you went tonight. There's a few things once I kind of type this up and put the graphics in, I'll be able to really kind of digest, and next week come back. And I wanted Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson. I wanted it to be revealed that they took out Jade, and I don't think that's going to happen. So,
I mean, hey, given Triple H's track record, it could have been Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson working for Bianca and Naomi.
Well, I thought it was. So I ultimately thought it was going to be Jakar Jackson and Lash Legend working for Naomi, and that then they would in turn turn on Bianca, and then at WrestleMania you'd get some combination of a 3-on-3 between.
Oh, that's cooking right there. That's some cooking right there.
So, but
and for the comment section, who are gonna say you left out Bayley, left out Nia. Well, guess what? Nia's gonna be in your women's battle royal match, okay? Sure. The Mae Young battle royal, and Bayley's gonna be facing Roxanne Perez at Takeover,
which I like. Which I actually like that for Bayley. Because I think that makes her the big star of that night, where she'll get lost in the mix on WrestleMania this year, and she'll elevate a Roxanne. I like that. Any big Rumble predictions here before we?
Oh, I mean, Io winning, CM Punk winning. I think Trish Stratus makes a return.
Okay.
I think you were talking about her on your show the other day, Masha Slamovich. I think she makes an appearance.
I have no clue who that is. I just love the name. I love the name.
And I think one of the NXT call-ups for the Royal Rumble. Actually, I think I put her as my gets the most eliminations for Snuggles' prediction thing is Zarya from NXT.
Okay.
The Australian girl.
Okay. I have no clue who that is. I've got to catch up on my NXT.
She's like the big brunt. She's big, but she's not like Piper big. She's just big, muscular, but she's not like Jordan Rip. She's just like a tank.
Are we under the assumption Jordan's going NXT, or do we think she skips the line?
I think NXT has enough stars, but you could put Jordan there. The fans love her, but I think she's also done enough to where the main event scene fans know her and will like her. So I think you could put her straight to the main roster.
What if she wins the Rumble?
SmackDown. I put her
What
on
if she wins
SmackDown.
the Rumble? Calls out Rhea Ripley.
Hey,
I mean, it's been crazier things happen.
I want to see Jordan Grace versus Charlotte.
Ooh, that's another one. That's interesting.
I still need Jade Cargill to face all these people.
Yeah,
remember all those teases we got?
There was part of me that thought, and then we'll wrap it up on this, that if you lumped some of this like Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend in, that would be a way to transition Jade to NXT for a couple of months, where she could get a lot of repetition. Because I almost feel like they're scared to show her on main roster for the fact that like I think the WWE style is still just a little different for her. So I'd like to see. I mean, I think she'd do well as an NXT champion, at least for 2 or 3 months. It's done well for a lot of people to go down there and just repetition, grab a microphone, repetition, wrestle, grab a microphone.
The one thing about Vince, back in his day, I think he wasn't afraid to let you sink or swim. He'll throw you out there,
sure,
and you sink or swim.
Yeah, we'll learn real quickly whether you've got it or you don't.
Yeah, plenty of big guys throughout the years had like a 1 month push, couldn't cut it. Hasta luego.
But I kind of like that, to be honest with you. You learn quickly whether somebody, because you also they can fuck around with Jade so long that the narrative is, well, it's just never going to happen. All right, we got Royal Rumble this Saturday. Then we will be back next week to we'll clean up some of what we see based on SmackDown, Raw, and the Royal Rumble. As always, I'm the notorious NerdyD. That is WavyD, and we will check you guys next week.
Yeah, let's go. Don't stop, yo, no. Shows Vegas, baby, high roll, bank roll. WavyD, NerdyD, we say so. Rock bottom, hit him with a stunner, that's no problem. Superman punch, yeah, we got him. Throw the ones up, tell me who hotter. Manhandle, Chels Green.